Hey guys, welcome to my Jurassic World 2, I guess? Or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom review. Why is it a kingdom now? Wasn't it a park? I thought Jurassic World was a park. It's a kingdom now, I guess? The kingdom of the dinosaurs? So Fallen Kingdom, or unless they mean like a kingdom like you built this park that was really successful, I guess like Disney's a kingdom. Or like Apple or Microsoft or kingdoms, I guess that's what it means. Still, weird name, right? Am I the only one who thinks it's a little weird? If they couldn't figure out what the hell to call it. Like, F it, it's, Jurassic whatever. Second podcast I've actually tuned into. It's like 11:30 p.m. here. Well, thank you for tuning in, Husk. Oh, by the way, no, thank you for liking the music. I think my channel has some pretty good music. Damn it, the one stream I make it and I haven't seen the movie. Don't worry, Null. You're not gonna go see this movie anyway. So I'm here to protect you. I know I called it Fallen Franchise, but in all honesty, Jurassic World's not really a Fallen franchise. It still makes a crap load of money. The last film made $1.6 billion, and this film is on track to make $1 billion at least. It's already made like $400 million internationally, and it looks to be making $130 million this weekend. So it's not fallen financially, but as far as quality goes, I would say yes. How did the Jurassic Park franchise go from a really smart thriller that was character-based and had this nice subtext and was more about tension than spectacle to a big B-movie franchise, monster movie franchise? I mean, how did that happen? You know, I think about this a lot. I think about Jurassic Park 1, and every time I go rewatch that movie, it's very masterful. David Fincher talked about it a few times, but the footprint in the mud, right? That was amazing because it gave the scale for the dinosaur, the T-Rex eye through the car window. There's only 15 minutes of dinosaurs in the first Jurassic Park movie. It's not a bunch of CGI special effects. It just feels like there's more. There's a lot of build-up. I mean, you see them early on. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, there's a lot. The insert shot of the cup of water. Now it's become such a famous shot now, it's kind of like we don't appreciate it anymore. But that's a brilliant shot, just seeing the water. So you get a sense of how big the T-Rex is without actually seeing it. That's really smart. I mean, that was this brilliant stuff Spielberg did going back to Jaws, when he reaches that Hitchcock level of technical prowess and mastery. And Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton's original book, which is honestly arguably his most entertaining book, and I'm a fan of a lot of his books, he apparently wanted to write that because he wanted to teach kids about evolution, from what I heard in a Charlie Rose interview. But really, just everything in Jurassic Park was so smart. You know, people don't give enough credit to the story structure of that movie. I hate when a lot of people say that Jurassic Park was the Avatar of its day. It was just a special effects movie that didn't have a good story and characters. I really disagree with that. It's got this great structure. At the beginning, Alan has the raptor claw, and he's messing with that kid because he doesn't really like kids, and he's talking about how a raptor would cut you up to this kid to freak him out. And she's like, why are you doing that? And what's the last shot of the movie? They're riding off in the helicopter, and he's holding the kids, and he's thinking about being a father now with her because they were struggling whether or not to have children, right? And it's about creation. You know, Hammond creates these dinosaurs trying to play God, and he bastardizes them, he commercializes them, he sells them for his own monetary gain. But he has a good heart too. He wants to let anyone in there. There's that great dinner table scene where Ian Malcolm smells. But at the end, you know, they're going to create life of their own. It's a film about evolution and creation and how you carry on things like genetics. And Alan and her are going to carry on their genes at the end. Now the sequels ruined that ending because they didn't follow it up. But what's so beautiful, it's about a man who comes to terms with children, who's so obsessed with dinosaurs in the past he can't think about the future. And I don't think this is me reading into it. It's pretty clear in the movie. I mean, this is obvious stuff, and at the end he can think about the future. He's not so stuck in 65 million years ago, and he's not so caught up in trying to find something that he's never going to see. Because once he actually does see the dinosaurs, Alan, he realizes, like, oh, this is scary. We shouldn't mix these things in the modern day. They're horrifying. There is beauty to this, but oh my god, these things don't belong in today. It's really great storytelling, I think. I think it's one of Spielberg's tighter films in that sense. And then Ian Malcolm being the the voice of reason to just break through it and saying, you sold it, you're selling it, you're marketing it, and you were too concerned with whether or not if you could, you didn't stop to think if you should. The scientists in Jurassic Park are optimistic about human life. They're not these cynical, nerdy scientist stereotypes that we see in so many movies. They're people that think human life is worth it. And we shouldn't just do something amazing in science because it's for money or spectacle or people rewarding you. They think, well, how does this affect people? How does this affect life? How does this affect our ecosystem? What does this do to people here that have survived? That we are the king of the kingdom now, basically, as evolution. We have come ahead. Ian, Malcolm, Jurassic Park, and it's got so many good things about it. I mean, it's hard to understate the greatness of Jurassic Park. I think it was one of the first movies I saw in the theater when I was very little. The raptor scene in the kitchen has so much tension. The T-Rex car scene is one of the best scenes ever done, an action scene. The acting's really good, and they didn't cast, big enough names to where it's like, because Harrison Ford was up for the role of Al and all that, and he just would have been too big. It's nice that you can kind of see these people as their characters. And yeah, Jurassic Park kind of feels like, in a sense, more like a thriller, like Jaws did. And, it's about, in Jaws, the ocean, it's kind of that Moby Dick thing. The men are going out there to find themselves when they go to hunt down Jaws. They go to get Bruce. When they open those big gates of Jurassic Park, which is definitely like King Kong, their sense they're going into this place of wonder to find out something about humanity and where we are in the world. Yeah, I've seen Carnosaur many times. So I think Jurassic Park's a great movie. I think it's well written. I think it's well paced. I think the cinematography, it's kind of a goodbye to that era of Spielberg before he went and did Schindler's List and changed up his style and went on to do Saving Private Ryan and all that stuff. It's kind of like a goodbye to that era of Spielberg, and it's amazing. It's like he put everything that he worked on for decades into kind of like this last thing. And for a while, it was the highest grossing film of all time. He passed himself. He passed E.T. until Titanic came out. But it's a great film. John Williams score. I mean, it's magical. It's real movie magic and all. It still gives me goosebumps when I watch it today. I love it. And, it's not my favorite Steven Spielberg movie, but it's pretty damn high up there, I gotta say. I mean, it's definitely a classic. I know nobody but me cares, but Jurassic Park was actually a pretty accurate representation of dinosaurs with the knowledge we had back then. Yes, what they knew back then. Even if the science was nonsense. Jurassic World, not so much. Yeah, I think the feathered raptors wouldn't have looked as scary. That's true. Also, Jurassic Park actually treated the dinosaurs as actual creatures. Jurassic World treats them as movie monsters. Yeah, there's more of a Godzilla thing now. It's like destroy all monsters. That seems to be the tone of these Jurassic World movies. I'm not really sure. Oh, shut up, Mike. Feathered raptors are great. I don't like Jurassic World. So if you're a fan of that movie, just know that, if you might not agree with me. Probably Schindler's List is my favorite Spielberg movie, or Empire of the Sun, or Close Encounters. Jaws is right there. And I also like, I like a lot of his films. Raiders has kind of gone down over the years, but I still love it, and I love E.T. and all that. Duel's great. Sugarland Express, I think, is incredibly underrated. But till this, Schindler's List is one of my favorite films of all time, let alone Spielberg. That's just one of my favorite movies. But I hold Close Encounters in very high regard as well, and Empire of the Sun. So those ones probably are my favorites overall. But I think he's made several masterful films. I even like a lot of his work going into 2000s. I like Munich. I like Minority Report. I like Catch Me If You Can. I'm not somebody who thinks Spielberg's just lost his way. I still think he makes good films occasionally. Now, my problem with Jurassic World was what a lot of people complained about. So I'm not knocking anyone if you enjoyed that movie. In many ways, it was probably less insulting than Force Awakens, or but it was basically just a rehash. It was a remake of Jurassic Park. And Spielberg storyboarded the movie. Colin Trevorrow, which I liked his first film, Safety Not Guaranteed. It just felt like a remake, like we're at Jurassic Park again and things go haywire with the park. The only thing that made it kind of new was Chris Pratt playing Indiana Jones 2.0. that there was a character that had actually been interacting with the dinosaurs. And that was probably the most interesting part of the movie, because it had the screenwriters who wrote Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and that. And they kind of had that Caesar thing with Blue, that Chris Pratt had a relationship with this raptor. And that was the best part of the movie, was the scenes with him and the raptors. I just felt like the movie was dumb. The weaponizing a raptor makes no goddamn sense to me. Why would you weaponize raptors? Like, we have drones. I have a gun. A gun could kill a raptor. Can anyone make any sense why these military people are still trying to make was trying to make raptors weapons that they're gonna go kill people? Like, does that make any sense to anyone? Dinosaurs as weapons? I'm just confused about it. I really don't get it. It bothers me. The second movie I saw in the theater, The Lost World, I liked it when I was a kid. Now it's just goofy. It's kind of toneless. It feels like secondary Spielberg. I love the fourth act where the T-Rex is attacking the city. It's goddamn ridiculous and wonderful. A good Spielberg fourth act. I do. I love the T-Rex in the city. It's a great special effects moment. Mommy's very angry. I like that. I really don't like The Lost World. I know some people like that movie. I don't. I don't like the tone. I don't like the pacing. I think it's ridiculous. The third movie's fun, by Joe Johnston. It's like a fun, homage to a different era film. Jurassic World, I was just disappointed. I really wanted to like the movie. Yeah, Jurassic World did try to do that meta stuff. It tried to have subtext about the franchise getting bloated, and it was like they do the stuff with the toys and all that. I just didn't like it very much. I thought it was nostalgia fest. Everything in it was trying to make you remember Jurassic Park. I think it falls apart once the Indominus Rex or whatever it called breaks out. Pretty much once that thing breaks out, that movie goes to shit. The first 20 minutes or so aren't too bad. I don't really like the kids. The scene with oh, it's part raptor. That movie made a lot of money and people loved it. I just didn't get it. I was just sitting in the theater bored when I saw that movie. It's not like a terrible movie. I wouldn't say it's awful, but I don't think it's a very good movie either. It's kind of the definition of a mediocre action spec. I like the pterodactyl scene, sure. I like Chris Pratt being Indiana Jones. I like Christian Pratt. That's what I'm going to call him because at the MTV Movie Awards, because he came out as a hardcore Christian. So I'm going to call him Christian Pratt from now on. I liked Christian Pratt. I would like to see him as Indiana Jones. I'd much prefer that than seeing 80-year-old Harrison Ford play Indiana Jones again. Jesus Christ. But I don't get it. So my optimism for this film was only because of the director. This guy made two films I like a lot. He made The Orphanage, which is a really good horror film, and he made The Impossible, which is a great disaster film with some really great acting. It made me very emotional. I'll say I cried at that movie. So I was like, man, this guy's a good director. He also made, I believe, one of Monster Calls, which is another movie I liked. Or it might have been called A Monster Calls. I think they abbreviated. That's another movie I really liked a lot. Great special effects. He has great camera work. He's kind of a Guillermo del Toro's type. I mean, very talented director. So I thought, okay, they're getting this guy. Maybe he'll pull this off. He's made 3 movies I like. He's done amazing stuff with special effects. He knows how to tell a story. He's very good with actors. So I thought, oh, this is probably, honestly, he was a much better pick than Colin Trevorrow. That's what I thought immediately. I thought this guy's a good choice. So I was kind of excited for this movie, even though I didn't like the trailers. I thought maybe this would be one of those surprise, really good films. Because this guy is a good director. He has a proven track record too, and he has dealt with big budget special effects and stuff like that. So it's not like they just hired some indie director and then gave him a big budget. This guy has chops. So that was another disappointment with this film, was that outside of a few moments, the director really didn't get to leave his stamp. I think this guy could have made a good Jurassic Park sequel. I think this guy could have made a good movie. I just think this script is bad by Colin Trevorrow and someone else. The script's kind of awful. And it's weird. It's a remake of The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Jurassic World was a remake of Jurassic Park, and this is a remake of The Lost World. And I'm not kidding. It's basically the same movie. It's bizarre. I mean, it's essentially the same movie as The Lost World in so many ways, and that freaked me out early on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you guys have no integrity? And what also sucks about this movie is they introduce some new concepts into the franchise that are different, and they don't follow up on them. Moral gray. That the bad guy tells Owen and Claire that, hey, you guys are actually at fault as much as I am. It's interesting. It's like, man, where's this going? It doesn't go anywhere. They use cloning in a new way that they haven't introduced before. I won't spoil it yet. We'll get there later. I have a lot of notes I took down when I saw the movie today. But it's unfortunate because there was ideas in this film that I thought, man, that's a cool idea for a Jurassic Park movie. But it's such a mixed bag of a film. It's inconsistent. Sometimes it's fun to watch. Other times it's just a big B movie. And other times it's just ridiculous and so contrived and cliche and derivative of other films you've seen before. It's really disappointing because there's elements here I think that are much better than Jurassic World. But at the same time, Jurassic World felt more like a blockbuster. It had more spectacle feeling to it, I guess, even though I think this film has some better set pieces. But I remember when I saw Jurassic World, I didn't like it, but I thought, this feels like a big budget movie that you go to see. This film kind of felt small, and that was very weird. I don't know why it felt that way. I can't quite articulate why it didn't really feel, it didn't feel as grand as it should have, I suppose. The director claimed that he was able to put a stamp on Fallen Kingdom. Don't believe that when Colin Trevorrow wrote the script. Yeah, I mean, there's a few scenes. There's a few moments when he does some really cool stuff. That I'll get to. There are some things in this movie I like, but I don't think this is a very good movie. Having said that, I don't think this is like the worst Jurassic Park movie. I think this is probably in ways a little bit better than Jurassic World, and I also think that in some ways it's better than The Lost World. So it's not my second favorite Jurassic Park movie, but it's probably not my least favorite either. But that's not saying much because none of the sequels are very good, unfortunately. Jurassic Park probably should have just been one movie. The one movie was good enough. They lied about the amount of Goldblum. Yes, they did. There was not nearly enough but it sucks because, yeah, I just don't know if this premise works after the first film, after you set up Jurassic Park and you have the dinosaurs go out. It's hard to buy into the logic that somebody else would open up a park just with all the lawsuits you would have. It also doesn't make any sense that people would want to keep dinosaurs around. I just don't get it. I don't know why people want dinosaurs in the modern day. It confuses me. Like, how would this be legal? Wouldn't there be laws against this that you could do that? Like, I don't... Like, once you get, like, what is this, like 5 movies in, it just seems ridiculous. You can't buy into it anymore. Like, the first film, this guy has his own private island, and he's making an amusement park. You can buy into it, like, as a fantasy sci-fi film, but, like, with every movie, it just gets dumber because they're stretching the premise so thin that it's hard to accept it. I can't buy the Jurassic Park premise anymore. It's silly now. Watching the dinosaurs and all that in the real world is just kind of silly now. I don't know why. I'm not saying I have an exact reason for why, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. He is a mediocre storyteller and writer. Very much so. Is Hotel Artemis out? Yes. Yeah, it came out and bombed. Big time. Well, Michael Crichton didn't even want to write the second book. That was such a cash-in book where the first movie made so much money. They pretty much demanded he write a second one. People like dinosaurs. I mean, this movie's going to make money. Kids love dinosaurs. My nephew's favorite thing in the world is dinosaurs. People still love dinosaurs. That popularity has not died down since the early 90s. I mean, give Spielberg that. He made dinosaurs way more popular than they ever were. I don't really get the love for dinosaurs. I mean, they're cool. But dinosaurs are kind of like... I don't know. Why is everyone obsessed with these things that went extinct millions of years ago? I just don't get it. Like, maybe it's because there's a mystery to it, but why are we all concerned with these things that would eat us? Like, animals die. Like, 90% of species that have existed have died off, and we're just the dominant species right now, but we're probably going to die someday. I mean, I don't get this obsession with something that we're never going to be a part. I mean, I guess it's because they're aesthetically cool and they're scary. But I mean, I like dinosaurs. I've been in museums and looked at stuff. I've looked at the skeletons and all the fossils and stuff, but I don't know. I don't have that love for dinosaurs a lot of other people have. They're cool. That's about it. I don't know why everyone's got a boner for dinosaurs. Well, I get why people are obsessed with Star Wars because of the lightsabers and ships flying and lasers and the Force. And the aesthetics and the sound effects. All that stuff I totally get. Like, I don't necessarily get why people just like seeing dinosaurs. Like, the original Jurassic Park, what made it exciting was we never saw dinosaurs look real in a movie before. That was the first time it looked realistic, so it was groundbreaking. It's like when you first see King Kong. But after you see King Kong the first time, there's the novelty wears off. It's just seeing a giant, giant ape, monkey. It's like, it's not... Seeing a dinosaur now in a movie is no big deal. It just looks like another monster that would be in a CGI movie now. We see this stuff now all the time. This isn't 1993 anymore. So for me, like, you got to come up with something different. Like, I mean, might as well just make a movie about a bunch of chickens. They're just little raptors. I mean, I'm not knocking dinosaurs. I just don't get the... Congrats on getting on World Class Bullshitters. I mean, I'm not on there yet. I've been emailing Jeff. He asked me if I wanted to be on the High Council or do a World Class Bullshitters or do a solo thing with him, and I said I would just come on World Class Bullshitters. I don't know when I'm going to be on. We've been emailing each other. He hasn't gotten back to me, so I don't know when I'm going to go on, but he has talked about it on a few live streams, and he's been emailing me. We've emailed each other. I was watching his Batman commentary last night, though, and I got a pretty good joke in there. They were talking about Kiss from a Rose. Kiss by a Rose. There's a Kiss from a Rose. I think that the song from Seal for Batman Forever. And I said, well, Finn got kissed by a rose. And everyone laughed. So I was pretty happy with that. I don't know when I'm going to be on there. I can't tell you guys the day yet. When I find out, I'll let you guys know. I like dinosaurs from a science perspective, so dinosaurs movies don't do it for me. Yeah, I don't really get it from a movie standpoint. What story can you tell with dinosaurs? Jurassic Park had a really clever premise, because it was also kind of about man overreaching and the faults of capitalism and corporate America and greed. I don't see where you can go with it much anymore. Like, unless you did like a time travel movie with dinosaurs, maybe that would be cool. No, I didn't like Jurassic World 2. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, thanks. You guys made it happen because you guys harassed them so much in the live streams mentioning me all the time. Jeff says I get requests for you every day. So, he said he would have me on. He asked me to be on the High Council in July, but I just said no to that. I'll tell you guys, I'll let you guys know when I'm going to be on there. I don't know. Maybe I should have done the solo video. He said that we could do a video on Monday or Friday, and I said I would just go on the regular World Class Bullshitter show. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. He said we need to do it as soon as possible, but he didn't email me back recently, so I don't know. I thought they were doing a show tonight, so I thought maybe I'd be on there tonight. But I didn't get asked about it, so I don't know. Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll be on. I really wish I knew when I was going to be on so I could tell you guys, but we haven't picked a day yet. I am going to get David Stewart back on, though. We've been planning that. But yes, I will be on World Class Bullshitters at some point, according to Jeff. If it doesn't happen, I don't know what to say. Jeff said he wanted to have me on and he was going to have me on. I don't know what's going on. So that's on him, but that's fine. You know, it's his channel. Okay, so let me go through the movie. I took a bunch of notes today while watching the film. I did this all professional and shit. I brought a notepad into the theater so I could go through this whole movie with you guys, because I'm forgetting this movie as I'm talking about it. It's that forgettable. I'd also like to point out, has anyone been seeing those anti-tobacco commercials on TV? Those anti-smoking commercials where they're talking about how they market to poor people and black communities. They're like, they do marketing in urban areas and in poor areas. 72% of cigarette smokers are people in poor areas and all that. And I'm just seeing it as like, this is the most condescending commercial I've ever seen. Like this SJW tactic to get people to stop smoking. Isn't the health enough? You're basically saying, hey, you stupid poor people, you're not smart enough to not get manipulated by this big tobacco and it manipulating you. You know what you like to buy in those black communities? Menthol, because it's green, because it's the color of money, which is what you want, you poor bastard. You're so dumb that marketing works on you. You don't make the decision yourself to go buy cigarettes, which aren't cheap, by the way. It's not cheap to go buy cigarettes. You're so poor that you don't know any better. So big tobacco goes after you because of you're a dumb poor person. And you like your dirty green cigarettes because it makes you think you have money. Now, why does nobody ever bring up big liquor? There's also liquor stores in poor communities. There's bars everywhere. Oh, the big liquor companies want to market to poor people. It's probably because poor people who don't have a lot of money to do anything want to get drunk, high, and smoke cigarettes and use whatever vice they can. There's also prostitutes in poor areas. What about big prostitution? Why is it always big tobacco? Why is tobacco the only Godzilla of the vices of the world? Big tobacco. You know, isn't there? I guess there's big pharma. They say that too. But what's with? Isn't everything big? Isn't big McDonald's a thing? Don't they like to sell McDoubles to poor people because it's fast food and it's cheap? I mean, if I was poor, I'd be pissed off. Like, what are you saying to me? Like, what? That I'm dumb and I don't know that? I see a sign in a gas station and I can't help but buy a cigarette? Where does that come from? This is ridiculous. I don't like it. All right. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. Those commercials have just been driving me crazy. They're on. Yeah, I've seen Thank You for Smoking. Okay. The opening. This is one of my notes. The opening is just a ripoff of the opening to the original and the T-Rex sequence. Yes, this was the weird thing. The opening of this movie is the opening Jurassic Park. You know, where the raptor's in the cage and he's like, shoot her! And they try to get away and a guy gets eaten. That's what happens at the... Oh, by the way, spoilers. But that's what happens at the beginning of this movie. They have like a dinosaur and they're trying to get it on this thing and a guy gets eaten trying to escape. And of course he's like a black dude. So this movie immediately in the beginning just rips off Jurassic Park. And there's a lot of stuff in this movie that rips off Jurassic Park. I mean, I was stunned. They just totally ripped off scenes from Jurassic Park. Not that the first movie didn't do this, but I was like, oh my god, this is so blatant, it's plagiarism. What is this? What is this crap? Like, it's, I don't know, immediately. I mean, and then they also steal the shot from the ending of the last movie. There's also storylines from the last movie. You know when that dinosaur came out of the water and ate the... I guess he ate the T-Rex at the end. The water one comes out and eats the guy at the end of this first scene. They're already repeating shots and moments from the film before this and the first Jurassic Park. Pat, I might tune out even bad movies. I like to go in blank. Okay. I mean, you're gonna regret saying that after you watch the movie. You're gonna be like, oh wow, I know exactly where this movie's going within the first 10 minutes. I should have listened to that awesome live stream Pat did, but I was an idiot. That's what you're gonna think, Noel. Anyway. Okay. So then we jump into a scene with Ian. I'm just joking, Noel. We get into a scene with... But if you don't know where this movie's going, I mean, this is the most predictable cliche movie I've seen in a while. Everything about it. It's like immediately you could tell where it's... I mean, I was laughing my ass off. So, okay, we get a scene with Ian Malcolm talking about dinosaurs and how we should just kill these bastards off, which I actually kind of liked. I'm glad somebody finally said it. Like, listen, we need to stop trying to keep these dinosaurs around. Can we just kill these bastards? They're trying to eat us. Why do we want dinosaurs around? In the 21st century, we do not need them. There's no use for this. Stop it. How many lawsuits do you need, people? Stop it. You know, I was glad for somebody to finally say, like, can we just end this already? There was a theory that anti-smoking ads are there to make people get more cigarettes. That's amazing. Does the movie have its own Jar Jar via the Screaming site? No, not really. I wouldn't say so. So early on in the movie, I was kind of like, hey, cool. They're finally saying what I've been saying for several movies. Kill these bastards. Like, blow these motherfuckers away. Then we get then we meet Bland Dallas Howard. But she's pretty, so it's okay. She has nice legs and a nice figure and a pretty face and red hair, so it's okay that she's a bland actress. At least in these franchises. Like, she annoys the shit out of me in these movies. Like, just give her something. The way she pitches her performance in these movies is annoying. Once again, I get it. She's pretty. I'm not saying she's not. She's a pretty lady. Ron Howard had a good-looking daughter. But, one of the most bland characters I've ever seen in a major blockbuster franchise. Okay, so then she goes to... Oh yeah, they have this thing early on about saving the dinosaurs. So I guess it's a save the animals message. I don't know if it was a PETA vegan thing. I don't know. Maybe that was the subtext. The whole idea was like, let's save the animals. Come on, let's save them. So fine. All right. And then we meet the kid from the Get Down, who I'm a big fan of. He also is going to play, I guess, Ash, or the kid character in the Detective Pikachu movie with Ryan Reynolds. He's the main kid in the Get Down. Really good actor. He has a fro, too. I like his delivery. I like how he looks. I really liked him in the Get Down. He plays the nerdy, hacker, science-y guy in this movie. And he's a chicken. He doesn't like to fly. He doesn't want to go with them to the island and all that crap. Yeah, her acting's awful in these movies. I've seen her be decent in other stuff, but in these movies, she's like so self-aware she's acting, and she's just got this way of pitching the performance that's so cringe, like, and she's just overacting while also completely lacking charisma. And I mean, I don't get. She was one of the worst parts of the first movie, and she's even worse here in many ways. She's just really not likable. I'd put a lot of it down to casting, but I also think a lot of it has to do with writing. I would also assume... Are you implying that Clint Howard isn't sexy? I don't appreciate that. So then we just keep repeating story beats from the previous film. And this is something I noticed immediately. This film starts being the Lost World. This starts becoming the Lost World Jurassic Park. And I'm not kidding you. Early on, she goes to a mansion to meet a rich guy to talk about going to the island for the dinosaurs, which is what Ian Malcolm did with John Hammond in The Lost World. It's like the exact same setup. Oh, you have to go back now. You went there in the first movie. She was at Jurassic World. Now you have to go back for this reason. It felt so derivative early on. It's like, oh my god, we're already repeating beats. Also, you meet this guy, this good-looking young guy with a heart of gold that just wants to save the dinosaurs. Immediately, if you're not an idiot, you'll think this guy's gonna be the bad guy. In fact, not only is this guy gonna be a bad guy, he's gonna be a cartoonish villain by the end of this movie. And guess what, people? Guess what? Obvious cliche movies do not change. They always follow this pattern. I mean, it was like... I remember I leaned into my girlfriend and said, that guy's going to be the bad guy, and he's going to be super evil and crazy, and he's going to do evil stuff. And yes, that's exactly what happens. Oh, I'm the good guy. I just want to go help the dinosaurs and get them off the island. Nope. He's a mustache-twirling villain who wants to auction the dinosaurs off. And they expect you to be surprised by this, even though it's totally obvious that's what's going to happen in the movie. Why not just do something fresh, like maybe he's not a bad guy? And he does want to help the dinosaurs, but because of circumstances, things go bad, and he has to compromise himself, and he doesn't want to do it, and he goes through a moral crisis. Instead, he just becomes a cartoon character. And oh, him and Bland Dallas Howard are kind of having a thing between each other. Maybe this will work. No. Nope, he's at the end talking to her. I'm sorry, Claire. I'm sorry that I did this. I understand what you're feeling, but this... It's like, oh my god. I mean, could you have written a more cliche screenplay? I mean, are you fucking with me? What the hell is wrong with you people? Stop doing this trope in movies. Where some guy's introduced early on that seems like he wants to do the right thing, and then he's just the evil, bad, rich guy at the end of the movie. It's ridiculous. Like, that's so played out. Do something new. I'm not asking for you to... I know, they show in the movie tries to play it off like a plot twist. I mean, it's so stupid. So she goes to the house, and it's just like the scene from The Lost World. And then James Cromwell shows up. He went from talking pigs to dinosaurs. And of course, he's the old guy with the heart of gold. He used to work with John Hammond. And, oh, he's not the bad guy. It's this young guy that's running his company now and all that. It's like, oh my god. Like, and he's bedridden, and he loves his granddaughter. I was very worried when a little kid showed up. That scared the crap out of me. Like, oh no, another kid. I could deal with Tim in the first movie, not so much the girl, but the kids in the last movie were horrible. Could we stop putting kids into movies like this? They really bring everything down. Seriously. What if they trick you into thinking he's the bad? That would have been better. If they make you think it's going that way, and then it turns out he's not the bad guy. That would have been better, yes. That would have actually surprised me. Because it feels like he's a bad guy immediately. Yeah, Colin Trevorrow is a talentless hack. So, you know, it just starts to be... And then they introduce the little girl, and it's like, oh my god, really? We need a kid in this fucking movie? Like, that was the moment I was like, oh god, I got worried there, right? And every frame of this movie is trying to tap into nostalgia. They steal every shot. Every moment is something that's like an homage to Jurassic Park. I mean, they show you stuff from the other movies, like, remember this? You'll know what I'm talking about with the iconography and how everything looks like Jurassic Park. And they cue the music. Da da na na na. And you're supposed to be like, oh, Jurassic Park. Oh my god, great. I didn't like the girl. I didn't like the actress in the first Jurassic Park. She wasn't horrible, but I don't know. She always kind of annoyed me, and I always felt like her being a hacker was ridiculous. I always thought that her being this master hacker at the end was stupid and really bad writing. Where I liked that Tim was into dinosaurs and kind of annoyed Alan, and then Alan came around to liking him. I don't know why they made this movie so bad. It just is. This film's so hard trying to make you remember Jurassic Park, and it doesn't like to do anything new. The little girl's not a bad actress. It's just like, I'm sick of seeing kids in movies. I really am. This ain't Stranger Things. I think Jurassic Park 3 is a fun movie. Okay, so then we catch up with Star-Lord, and we get a scene that's very similar to the scene in the first movie where they meet at the trailer. She meets at his trailer and they talk. I mean, this movie's legit stealing stuff from the previous film. It's hilarious. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. She meets him and he's working on something, and it's like, this is so similar to the scene in the first movie. So she's like, can I buy you a beer? And he's like, are we going to go here to drink it, or are we going to have to go? You mean like here? Or are we going to go somewhere else? Sure. So, you know, Chris Pratt's, you know, Star-Lord, Christian Pratt, he's got those manly forearms, so you know he's a tough guy. He's got big fat forearms, so you know he's been working out. Actually, he looked a lot more in shape than this than he did in Infinity War. So maybe Chris Pratt started working out again. I like Chris Pratt. I think he's the best part of these movies. He's definitely auditioning to be Indiana Jones. In this movie, he's really trying hard. Like, please put me in an Indiana Jones movie, please. And he is the right guy for that role if they ever reboot it. And I don't agree with people that you can't do different Indiana Jones movies. Indiana Jones is James Bond. You can do different Indiana Jones and keep rebooting the character just like you did with James Bond. There's Sean Connery, there's Roger Moore, there's Daniel Craig, there's Pierce, there's George Lazenby. You can definitely do a younger actor playing Indiana Jones again, and then you can cast a different actor. I've never agreed with people that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Why does he always wear the hat and have the jacket and the whip? It's because Indiana Jones is an idea of a character. He's not a deep, three-dimensional, complex character. He represents something. He's an archetype that you put into these fun adventure movies. It's not the character of Indiana. It is just the idea of the character. That's all it is. That's why Indiana Jones worked. It's like, it's the American James Bond. Spielberg always wanted to make a James Bond movie, and he got to make it with Indiana Jones, and it's amazing. And what they should have done in the 90s and then later on in the 2000s is they should have kept rebooting Indiana Jones with a new actor, and they didn't do that. And that's why that's why Kingdom of the Crystal Skull really fails, because Indiana Jones as an old man is stupid. It's stupid that he's not just working at the college, at the university. It's stupid that he goes out and does these action adventure, goes out to archaeological digs and all that stuff. It's stupid, because he's an old man. It works so much better. Yeah, you can't do that with Han Solo. Han Solo has to be Harrison Ford, because Han Solo is a character. He's also an archetype, but he's with this one story. I disagree, Craig. You saying that Harrison Ford's not a great enough actor to make anything not work or work. That he's only really good. I like him, but come on. Like, Harrison Ford's not a 10 out of 10 actor, and I love Harrison Ford. I like him in Working Girl and Witness and all that, but it's not like his performance. I mean, Chris Pratt can do every single thing Harrison Ford did in the Indiana Jones movies. You just have to be manly, have some of that stubble, be able to do action scenes, be funny, and have charisma. That's all it is. That's like saying nobody can play James Bond except Sean Connery. It makes no sense to me. Anyone who's ever said that is just like being nostalgic, thinking Harrison Ford's the only person who can play Indiana Jones. It's just not true. It's completely not true. All of the qualities that we like about Indiana Jones has more to do with ideas about the character, not who the guy really is. It's designed that way. I don't know why people don't get this. I've always been very confused why they want to keep doing sequels. Harrison Ford isn't a good actor, but he's extremely charismatic. So you just get another charismatic actor. That's all it is. I agree, but I don't agree with changing a character's ethnicity. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to get a black Indiana Jones. Just get a different guy. Chris Pratt would be a great Indiana Jones. I don't know anyone couldn't see that. He'd be amazing. He's so funny and charismatic and likable. You put him in like the 60s and he's Indiana Jones. That's an awesome movie. I'd have so much fun with that movie. And then after he does like 3 movies, you cast another guy as Indiana Jones. James Bond franchise proves that it works. That you can reboot a character. It doesn't work with someone like Han Solo because he's so tied to one storyline. Indiana Jones, you can just throw into a different storyline. Indiana Jones doesn't have to have one storyline with continuity. In my opinion, I think I've always felt the James Bond connection to that character. In particular, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think is like the best James Bond movie, or maybe North by Northwest. Plus, you had the combination of Spielberg and Harrison Ford. I'm not sure it could work without both of them. I mean, maybe. I mean, Steven Spielberg's one of the greatest directors of all time, so that helps. I sometimes wonder if we think that just because it's Harrison. On OBS. We're reconnected. Okay, tell me, guys, if you can hear me. I don't know why OBS just went out. I'm sorry. You guys gotta let me know. Can you hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the movie. I don't know, we're going on this little tangent about Indiana Jones. Okay. Sorry it disconnected. I don't know what happened. OBS does that sometimes. It's probably because I wasn't doing anything. I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you, my loved ones. I want to have babies with all of you. And then I want to have abortions with some of you. Anyway, meaty forearm Christian Pratt with bland Dallas Howard. The dialogue in this movie is just nonsense. It's just this, it doesn't sound written. It sounds like they're just letting them improvise, like they're sitting at this restaurant drinking beers. And it's just really, really bad, like improv, like goofy. Oh, you think you broke up with me? Yeah, I think I broke up with you. This is what happened. Oh, I broke up with you. Blah, 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 blah. Like horrible dialogue throughout the whole movie. Not one clever line of dialogue or anything like that. I can't. Just keep spinning. It keeps spinning. What? I don't know what that means. But I hate the dialogue in this movie. I really do. I mean, it was bad. I mean, you know, Jurassic Park's never been known for its dialogue. But this was just nonsense. Oh, Nolan's colorblind with green or red, or is that a joke? You're a great friend, but I don't swing that way. No one said that you had a choice in this, Crazy. I wasn't asking. I don't think you understand how this works. These are prison rules. This is the Thunderbone. 2 men enter, 1 man comes. And that man's me. Anyway. We get more stuff that rips off Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's right. There's a video footage of Christian Pratt with Baby Blue. My baby blue, my Dixie dear here. So they rip off Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Remember when James Franco's character has that footage with little baby Caesar, and they use it in the movie? That's in this movie. Little baby blue. It's just a rip. It's the same thing. It's the video of like, hey, I love Little Blue, just like the little Caesar stuff when they try to manipulate you in those Rise of the Planet of the Apes movies. Same thing. So Blue's just Caesar. That's what they've established. I think Chris Pratt would be great as Indy. Too bad Kathleen Kennedy would rather be a random teen. I would love Chris Pratt as Indy. I think he's great for that role. If you mix his Star-Lord role with what he's doing in these movies, and you find that balance, and you put him in the hat and the outfit, I mean, oh my god, yes. You got to get the right director, though. You really do. You really need like a Brad Bird or someone. Like, you really need somebody who can, because you think about Mission Impossible 4 and how Brad Bird did those action scenes. That's the kind of action scenes I want to see, but you know, in an Indiana Jones setting, and you need a really good script that hits all the right beats. I would love if Spielberg produced it, and I would love if, you know, I don't want him to direct it. I don't think he can do Indiana Jones anymore, and I hate saying that. I just don't think his aesthetics work anymore. I think you need to go with someone else. I'm all up for a new Indiana Jones, honestly. I think that's a much better idea than a new Star Wars series. I would much prefer. Yeah, but, you know, Harrison Ford wasn't a very good Indiana Jones with a bad script. I remember Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That wasn't a good script, and Harrison Ford was not good in that movie. Stream's getting good. Man, why are the streams having trouble? Why is the stream having trouble? What the fuck is going on? This is pissing me off. What is wrong with the stream? I'm sorry, guys. It's saying stream health is yellow. It's not red or green. I don't know what's wrong with the stream. I'm so sorry about this, guys. I really don't know. I don't know what it could be. My internet's fine. I got full bars on my internet. Let's see. So they taught. I mean, let me see if I can close a few things out. Yeah, now it says video output low. What the hell is going on? What's the deal? Let me close out my a couple things. I don't know what's doing this. Damn it. Come on. Freaking OBS. I don't ever have this issue. I do Box Office Addict every damn Sunday. And it runs fine. But now for some reason OBS won't work. And let's see. Everything. Yeah, my internet's fine. Man, this sucks. Well, if the stream cuts out, I apologize. I didn't want that to happen. I hope it doesn't do that way when it finally uploads, that it's glitchy the whole time. You know, would be a good dinosaur movie. Survivor with dinosaurs. Slasher movie plot where dinosaurs kill teenagers. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. If the stream gets all glitchy and it uploads, I'm sorry. Talking bad about your multimedia overlords, Pat. Get wrecked. That's what it is. They're coming after me. Crap, come on. Why is the video health low? Okay, it's green again. It says my stream health is green again. I'm trying not to review the movie while the stream health is bad so you guys can get good stuff. They're coming after me. That's what it is. You're right, Bathory. Well, you're not going to get me that easy, you corporate whores. Damn it. You know, Box Office Addict, we never have this issue. The stream's always healthy. And then for some reason, this one, we're having like a bunch of bad luck. It has been raining here. It might be the weather, but I figure my internet would show that. I don't know. My internet isn't. Let me check real quick. Yeah, my internet's fine. I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't that be all that matters? Unless OBS is having issues. Mahler had the same issue with his, did he have a live stream? I'm sorry, guys. A good dinosaur movie would be, oh, come on. You guys can get good stuff. Only if we had that. Yeah, we need the girl hacker from Jurassic Park, please. She needs to hack into it. I'm a hacker. I can do it. Dun dun na na. OBS, please work. I'm sorry, Universal, that I'm a big jerk. Or Matthew Vaughn. Oh, Matthew Vaughn. There's an interesting choice. So is Universal possibly sabotaging us to keep out the negative? That's exactly what they're doing. They know that I'm not using images and footage, so they're like, we're just going to shut this bastard down. You know what this is? This is when Newman messed up the computers in the first movie to Sam Jackson. There's going to be a picture popping up of Universal going, with their finger. And I'm like, you sons of a bitches. I got a cigarette in my mouth because I'm poor and the tobacco company sold it to me. And I got it in my mouth all like that, like Samuel Jackson, like son of a bitch. And I gotta set the system back up again, but I get eaten by a raptor. All right, guys, I'm gonna go off by myself and reset the power so I can bring power back to the stream. You guys are gonna come up, Mr. Rewind. Noel backs up into the corner. Bathory's there, Mr. Rewind, and they put my arm. Oh, Mr. Rewind, it's you. Bathory's like, oh, finally, he touches me, and then it's a raptor. It's like, oh my god. But it's a Universal producer in a raptor costume. Yes, Newman was in Basic Instinct. You didn't say the magic review words. Secretly, right now, they're taking my information so they can take my channel over. So they can go sell it to some foreigners and all that stuff. That's what they're doing. It's the unfortunate thing of the world we live in today, people. I don't know what to say. Newman was also in Seinfeld. That's hilarious. That's a clever joke, man. Good stuff. You win. Now, I'm not sure if the stream is still glitched or it always talked this way. It was always this way, I guess. It says that the stream health is healthy right now. I'm just spending no time reviewing the movie. It's all about the stream. It's all about OBS not working. Oh my goodness. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's chaos. Chaos happens. The stream will find a way. We'll find a way. We'll get through this together. Okay? We'll find a way through this. We need a JP movie starring Samuel Jackson. Yeah, we do. We really need one to have Okay, since we have no glitchiness right now. No, now we're no longer in Glitch Park. You know, there is a glitch in the system. I mean, this is... I guess this was meant to be. Okay. So, anyway, Baby Blue is a total ripoff of the Caesar thing. Yeah, it didn't find a way. It's totally a ripoff of the Caesar thing from the new Planet of the Apes movies. Let's get a noir disaster film, Jurassic Park sequel in the main city. I would love to see a Jurassic Park film in the world, but maybe that's where they're going. Even though it's been called Jurassic World. Okay. So, I put kids on my notepad. Kid, no. No. So, you guys know, that's when the kid shows up. Okay, then I wrote, is this a remake of The Lost World? Because they go to the island, and they're with these military guys. And it's just like the hunter guys in The Lost World that are there to go get the dinosaurs for the evil rich guy that's John Hammond's nephew. And there's the evil rich young guy that's betraying the old guy. It's The Lost World. It's just a remake of that movie. I'm not kidding you. It's the same shit. It's the bad military guys and then Jeff Goldblum, except it's Chris Pratt and them. And they're there trying to do the right thing. And they care about the animals and the other people are just using them for money. It's the same story. I don't know what they were thinking. I guess they thought we wouldn't notice. Like, what? I feel like Wayne Campbell when he's like, and they recast Darren Stevens as if we wouldn't notice on Bewitched. Wait, Dick Sargent. Wait, it's like Dick Sargent, and then I can't remember. The joke was Sergeant York, and then he's like, huh? What was that joke? Dick Sargent, Dick York, Sergeant York. I think that was the joke. As if we wouldn't notice. It's like, what, do you think I'm dumb that I didn't know you were just remaking The Lost World? You couldn't come up with a new idea? Why is it called Jurassic World if they aren't going around the world? Well, that's kind of where the movie goes, though, without totally spoiling everything. Are the CGI dinosaurs any good? Not really. There's moments, but it's still very mediocre, been there, done that. There's moments. There's moments when the CGI is pretty cool. And, I really didn't like the CGI in the last movie, to be honest. So, they go there with these military guys, the kid from the Get Down, Velma Dinkley, Christian Pratt, and Bland Dallas Howard. So they think they're going there to rescue the dinosaurs, because guess what? There's a fucking volcano on the island, and it's gonna erupt. And it's like, wait, what? Why did you put this theme park on an island with the fucking volcano? What were you thinking? It's a volcano? What are you idiots? You're just gonna do, I mean, this is insanity. I mean, I was losing my mind here. I was like, oh my god. I mean, seriously, it's like, so all the dinosaurs are gonna get killed by freaking lava. This volcano's gonna blow up. It's like, what are you, idiots? This is the worst place to put it. So, anyway, it turns out the military guys are evil. Oh no! Yep, they go to find Blue, and Chris Pratt's like, put your guns down, and then they shoot Blue, who they need for this whole thing. They shoot the one dinosaur they need. And then they leave Chris Pratt for dead? Why? I don't know. I guess he's gonna ruin the evil guy's plans. So Christian Pratt's left for dead? I'm like, okay. Thank you for keeping me updated, Nostalgia. So they just leave him for dead, and then they lock the girl and Get Down Dude into a place, and they're gonna leave with the dinosaurs and leave them there to die when the volcano erupts. They happen to show up exactly when the volcano erupts, by the way, too. Like, minutes after they get there. So it's like, volcano stuff. Also, this isn't how lava works. I'm not trying to nitpick the movie here, people. I'm really not trying to, but this turns into a remake of the film Volcano starring Tommy Lee Jones. Chris Pratt's laying on the ground, passed up, and he can't move. And there's fucking lava coming towards him. And he's right by it. I mean, like 5 feet, maybe even less, from the lava. And he's crawling away. You would be dead. You wouldn't be able to breathe. You couldn't even stand by a volcano that's like that. Like, what are they? Do they think I'm a moron that I don't know how this works? You cannot be that close to lava. I mean, he's crawling away from lava. And he's like, I'm gonna be okay. And he's like stumbling. He'd have been dead immediately. Like, do you know how hot that is? How much heat would be coming off of that? It wouldn't be like when you get your hand too close to like a campfire and you're like, well, back away a little bit. It's like, dudes, I get it's a movie. I get that you have to have suspension of disbelief, whatever. But the lava, they just make lava so stupid in movies. They just, I mean, really. That's not how it works. That's not how lava works. But it's just like, it takes you out of the movie because it's so stupid. It's like, was that necessary? Did you need Chris Pratt crawling away from lava? Really? Plus, the heat from the lava would burn him if he didn't suffocate. Yes, exactly. He would be burned. There's no way he could be that close to it. I mean, he's right by it. It's like, what, does he have superpowers? How is he so fucking close to the lava? Now, I will say, to a positive, this whole section of the movie when they're on the island, it's kind of goofy fun. It really is. Like, Chris Pratt going out with them to get the raptor, to get Blue, the lava, them getting... It's fun. It's like a big dumb B movie. It's more fun than a lot of the stuff in Jurassic World 1. I thought, man, is this what this movie's going to be about? A race against the island to try to get back, and are they going to be stuck on the island somehow? The hot air would have burnt his lungs. Yes, it would have. Yes, it would have. Oh, I would love to see Mike in a Jurassic Park film. What? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. So why is Jay aging so well? Like, Rich and Mike are aging faster. They look like they're 5 years older every video, and Jay's aging backwards. How did Jay go from like a 30-year-old to a 28-year-old? Is Jay a vampire? Is he sucking the life force out of Mike and Rich? I swear Mike looks older every video. Jay's got a beard now. He's more handsome. He got his fucking teeth fixed. Do you remember that old Plinkett video, his teeth? I mean, Jay is a good-looking dude. I don't care if you say I'm gay. He looks good. He's handsome. And he looks younger. What's going on with that guy? What fountain of youth did that motherfucker find? Where is it, in Milwaukee? What's going on here? He looks wonderful. Mike looks like he's 50. And Rich just is turning more and more and more into like just a blob of a human being. But Jay's getting younger. I mean, it's weird. It is Dorian J. That's exactly what it is. That's a great meme. It is Dorian J. It's horrifying. He has some picture. Yeah, something's going on. Yeah, Mike looks up at the lava. Oh my god. I guess that's what it is. Jay's watching. It's whatever beer he's drinking is making him younger. I know Mike's an alcoholic. It's clear Mike's an alcoholic and he's getting dementia, but Jay, like, what does Jay put? What cream does he put on his face? What does he have, that cream from Edward Scissorhands that she's selling to Edward? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, you're not supposed to get better looking with age. You're not supposed to peak in your mid-30s to your 40s like that. What is going on? It's baffling. I would let Red Letter Media do horrible things to me in the name of cinema. You like that? Of course you do. What's wrong with your face? Oh my god. No, it's just I can't watch the videos anymore. Jay's freaking me out. He's freaking me out. He has a time machine. I mean, no one brings it up. And he's got like an amazing memory. He remembers every single thing he ever watched and who was in every movie ever. What is in that guy's DNA? I think he's a clone. I think Jay is a freaking clone. Hey, do you remember Jay in the Plinkett video how ugly he was? He had like these horrible teeth and he was like clean shaven. He looked like a dork. I mean, he did. He's all scrawny. Now he's like in shape and he's got a manly beard and a great haircut and his teeth are fixed. It's like, man, that guy proves that money goes a long way. He got plastic surgery or some shit. I don't. Oh man, I hate the Rich in that guy's live stream. You know what I love about Rich and that guy? God, what's that guy's name? The guy with the glasses, the dorky guy, the hipster fag. They're terrible at video games. They review video games and you see them play them and they're horrible at them, and then they criticize things that they're not good at. That's one of my favorite things about their show. Is that they're really bad at video games and they talk about them and they don't know what they're doing. Jay is Captain America. Jack, yeah, Jack, that loser. Yeah, their show I previously recorded. It's so bad. It's like, God, you guys clearly haven't been able to play a game since like 1993. They're horrible at them. And Jack's easily the worst reviewer, and to me, like one of the worst parts of it. I know he's been their friend forever, but I don't like that guy. Oh yeah, when they went after Sonic and they just like suck at it, it's so funny. But they do that with every game they play. Every game they play, they're horrible at it. And then they're like, this game didn't work right. The controls didn't work. They remind me of that person that's mad when they can't win a game. And they're just like, the controller doesn't work. Oh, it's the design of the game doesn't work. Oh, that guy just killed me in multiplayer. It's his fault. It's the game's fault. It's not my fault for sucking. Like, oh, you jack off. Oh, Jack's clearly... And apparently Armored Skeptic's friends with Rich. Juna said this. She said that Greg is friends with Rich. That's disappointing. That makes me think lesser of Rich. Like, really? Are you like are you fucking with Greg? Like, are you pretending you're his friend? Bothers me. It's not just because I'm jealous, because I am. But it's like, really, Greg? Ugh. Armored fat ass? Anyway, of course the military guys are bad. He's decent at some games. I've watched at least like 50 of those reviews, and a lot of them he is horrible. And I watched their live stream, like when Jack's trying to play Spider-Man 2 and he can't figure out web slinging. Or they keep dying in Friday 13th. Sometimes I watch a game, they're not. I think there's some genres they're good at. But compared to a lot of people that play video games on YouTube, they are definitely below par. Okay, so they leave Star-Lord to die by the lava. The volcano erupts. So then Claire and Get Down guy. What did Matt mean when he said that Greg would cry at a vagina? Because it would be so beautiful for him to see one for the first time, because he never thought he would be able to see one, I guess, was the joke. No, I don't like Armored Skeptic. I think I've made that pretty clear many times. I used to like Greg and Armored Skeptic back in the day, but his videos got worse. His cringiness with June got worse. I like him as a movie reviewer. I definitely think I could talk to him about movies, but his politics are terrible. He's not well read. He kept saying everyone was a skeptic clone. I mean, he's become a meme at this point. I mean, he did that thing where we're the next four horsemen, me, Sargon, and all that stuff. I mean, I've definitely lost a lot of respect for that guy, and I hate Shoe on Head. Just straight up hate her. Maybe Red Letter Media likes Armored Skeptic for atheism and Armored Rips. Yeah, they are kind of like blatant atheists. Not that I'm not an atheist, but Mike definitely is like hardcore atheist with Rich, and they seem to be very... There's kind of this anti-religious thing you can read into some of their videos sometimes. Claire Better, heels. Britty Vintney did the best Shoe exposed video. Yeah, I like that video too. And then Shu trying to say, you can't expose me for things that I already admitted. I already said that I lied in these things. It's like, wait, so you're admitting that you lied, so it's not valid to make a video pointing out that you lied because you said that you lied, so thus we are supposed to trust you and not think that you're a liar? Huh? Hey, I said that I was a liar, so trust me. No, Mike does like ghost hunting, but he doesn't believe in ghosts. He's made that very clear. He doesn't believe in ghosts. He just likes going out ghost hunting because it's fun. I like going out ghost hunting, and I don't believe ghosts are real. It's just fun to go to, like, dark places with equipment and pretend that you're a ghost hunter. It's like Bigfoot. I know Bigfoot's not real, but I've been out in the woods with people with Bigfoot just because it's fun. I mean, I don't think their stuff's that atheist. I don't think they're, like, assholes about it. Don't get me wrong, but... Oh, they've made many jokes about religion. Yeah, I don't... You need to watch more Red Letter Media videos. There's been many times that Mike said stuff about religion. I mean, it's very tongue-in-cheek. Like, I'm not saying it as, like, a negative, but it's been in their videos before. Why don't I hate Chew on Head is a better question. Mike said that he doesn't believe in ghosts, though. He said in the Ghostbusters review, he goes, it's not that I really believe in ghosts, I'm fascinated by the paranormal and going out, but I don't really believe it's real, like Dan Aykroyd does. Like, that's what he said. I like the idea of killing Sasquatch. See, I don't want to hunt him, I want to fucking kill him. I go out with my gun, so if I find him, I'm gonna blow him the fuck away. Fuck people, I don't care to put him in a museum, I'm putting him on my wall. Sasquatch is mine. Yeah, I'm not putting... It must be in a museum. No, Indy. It must be in my damn house on my wall. By my $10 beer. I'm gonna blow this fucker away. I'm gonna blow the fuck out of Sassy. I don't give a shit. It's time to go squatching, boys. Is it Chew's politics you don't like? It's her politics, it's her humor. It's that she's made the same video 50 times in a row about the wage gap and the pink tax. It's her Twitter, which is terrible, where she criticizes everyone who attacks her favorite little boy, Greg. That she's a liar. She's lied for years now, that she just makes videos where she's doing cutesy little faces wearing her wig to get beta males to click on it, and she just takes stuff from MRA forums. Her cringy, unfunny humor that she says is cringy and unfunny, so thus it's funny, because she acknowledges it being horrible. She only uploads a video every, like, 3 months, and it's the same goddamn video she made years ago. How she tries so hard to be an e-celeb and put her marriage out there. How sexual she is inadvertently. She's always talking about sucking Armored Skeptic's cock, their BDSM relationship, just to get more people to follow them. She's basically a cam girl that's been able to get the money without showing her tits, which I give her credit for. Well done. You've succeeded in the free market, June. But yeah, makes nothing of value, has nothing to say of value, is kind of dumb and a bitch, a closet bitch. And her Twitter shows that quite a bit. Is your Bigfoot head going next to the first place to make it into beef jerky? Goddamn right it is. I mean, I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist too, yeah. I do have a fascination with fiction about the paranormal. I don't know why people find it... Yeah, it's just fun. Ghosts are fun. Yeah, you know, supernatural stuff, monsters and demons and it's fun. It's really fun to go out ghost hunting, even if you don't believe in it. It's fun. You can trick yourself into buying into it. So she's the reverse of a feminist male as a feminist to get pussy. Basically, She wears her wig and wears a lot of makeup. She does these videos to get guys to follow her because she's giving confirmation bias. She only started attacking feminism because it was economically beneficial, so she could get the Patreon money and her clicks. She plays it safe. She's a fence sitter. She's really just a liberal. She's not conservative at all. She just uses conservative arguments to benefit from it. She's just been making the same points over and over again. She shoots everything in 480. And she's a total cunt on Twitter. I don't really have anything positive to say about her. I don't get when people say she's funny or awesome or so. I hate when people even used her in his videos. I'm like, why are you all praising this mediocrity? Is it just because she's a chick? Like, if it was a dude doing the same things, I promise you nobody would be praising Shoe on Head for the stuff she does. And she wouldn't have a million subs. It's only because she's a chick. Like an okay-looking chick, because she's kind of cute. I mean, I'm not, you know, like, whatever. That's fine. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. I don't have to be a fan. We do need to go back to the review. Thank you. Somehow we talked about Shoe on Head. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Okay, so of course the military guys are bad, right? So we get this movie has a disjointed pace. It moves really fast. Like, it's like a boom, boom, boom movie, but then sometimes it feels like it's slow, and then other times it feels like it's picking up momentum. It does not need to be 2 hours long. It should be like 100 minutes at the longest. This movie's too goddamn long. It's disjointed. It's got scenes that are paced well, and then it's got other scenes that just set there. I don't know what was with the pacing of this film. It was completely all over the place. It was a very it's like a quick film but a badly paced film. It's got bad pacing. And is the stream glitched again? Now he's talking about the movie. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand the pace of this movie. I can't explain it. It's just like a really awkward movie. It's not very well put together in that way, the structure and the pacing of it. Now, there's a weird moment here with Jurassic Park where they rip off the movie 3 times. So they're running. Claire and the Get Down kid are running away, and Chris Pratt starts running, going, "Run, run, run!" And he's running, and it's the stampede sequence from Jurassic Park, where they hide behind the tree that on the ground that's fallen over, the log, and the dinosaurs run. It's the same shot, except it's a bunch of dinosaurs running from a volcano. Then they get in that ball thing that was from the first movie, the little glass ball thing. Then we get the window shot from Jurassic Park, where the T-Rex looks through the window. It's the same shot. Then, but there's more. The T-Rex shows up to save the day, just like the end of Jurassic Park 1. We get 3 rip-offs in less than 5 minutes. We get the stampede sequence, we get the T-Rex looking through the window sequence, and we get the T-Rex coming to save the day and eating the raptor sequence. In less than 5 minutes, they steal 3 things from the original Jurassic Park. Beat for beat. I'm like, what? Who makes these decisions? Is there a checklist of things you just have to put in a Jurassic Park movie? Is that the idea here? I mean, I guess, all right, we need the T-Rex to save the day. We gotta have it look through the window, and fuck it, stampede, and they hide. All right, there we go. It was ridiculous. I was laughing. I was like, come on. You can do 1 ripoff. I'll give you 1 every, like, 20 minutes. You can't do 3 in a row. Anyway. There's an awesome scene in this movie, in my opinion. I think the best moment of this movie. So, Claire and Get Down Kid are in the ball, and it's falling down this hill, and Chris Pratt can't get in, and they fall into the water. And they go into the water, and this scene's really... This is the best set piece of the movie. So the thing is sinking, and they're surrounded by dinosaurs underwater. And then Chris Pratt swims to them, and a lot of it's one shot. And they're inside the ball. It looks like the camera was, like, put inside with, like, on another side. And he swims in the water, and he's trying to get him out. So he does the thing where you shoot a gun underwater. But he shoots bulldozers, and they're trying to get the water out, and he's trying to open the door to get him out. And he's trying to stab it with a knife, and then he gets the door. That sequence is really great. That's the one of the moments where the director stands out. The ball falling into the water, it's sinking, them having to go into it, and Chris Pratt's character Owen having to go save them. Awesome scene, exciting. It's like an exciting sequence. It's visually great. The framing of it, him being outside of it, you feel like you're in that ball with them when it's happening. It's the space, the way they use space, the way the special effects are in the background, not in the surface. It's really well done. It's a good sequence. So they get up and they go to get on. They drive a car to get on the ship, and there's actually this emotional scene where one of the dinosaurs gets left behind on the island, and it's kind of really beautifully shot. It reminds me of the end of Godzilla vs. Destroyer, where Godzilla gets blown up, or Destroyer. He gets blown up, and then Baby Godzilla's there. So they take my dinosaurs, but there's this dinosaur left, and as they're going, whoa, and they're watching it as the volcano's erupting and killing this dinosaur. It's kind of emotional. It's like the most emotional scene in the movie with this dinosaur, and the door gets closed on them. They're getting the door closed on this boat, and you're watching this dinosaur slowly fall into this smoke, and you see his silhouette in like this red light and stuff like that. And I was like, man, that's a good the scene underwater, because I'm trying to be fair, and the scene with the dinosaur on the island being left behind are good moments. They're well done. It's a little cheesy, but it's not bad. I agree, it's a little cheesy. But seeing it walk out there, hey, that sucks. Because it's they're trying to portray them as animals more than they did in the other movies, not like it's like, yeah, I feel bad. I don't like seeing the dinosaur die, So I and you see it from their point of view, and they're like, oh shit, we left it behind. We couldn't help it. And it's it's like when the kid left the pudding for Air Bud, and then left and Air Bud was barking at him. Makes me sad. Anyway. So now the military, again, it turns out the rich guy's evil, and he's manipulating the old man, and he wants to sell the dinosaurs to rich people at an auction. In particular, he wants to design a new raptor monster hybrid, which is the last movie's plot with the Dominus Rex. It's now a raptor. It's the same story from the last film. And they want to weaponize the raptor, which is also in the first film. They want to use the raptors as weapons. Why would you want to use the fucking raptors? That's the worst weapon ever. Drone versus raptor. Drone wins. Gun versus raptor. Gun wins. They're going to send these raptors on stealth missions with things on their heads, and they're going to... That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They shoot the raptors in this movie with guns and stuff. Like, give me a machine gun. I'll take a raptor out. I don't care if it's, been enhanced and shit like that. Like, why do this, Russian guy wants to buy this raptor for $30 million? Like, what? Why are they acting like this is something that makes any sense? Like, it's the same storyline of the first movie too. They want to take the raptor. They have a super enhanced bastard of science dinosaur, and the military guys are bad, and the rich people, and they want to use the raptors for evil. It's so dumb when you have guns and bombs and stuff like that. It would be so ineffective to use dinosaurs. Do they explain why rich people want to buy dinosaurs? No, not really. They're just evil rich people who want to own dinosaurs for, their own personal collection, I guess. They're all just evil rich people who want to own dinosaurs. I mean, it's so silly. This movie gets completely ridiculous and, predictable. I mean, it's not totally terrible, but then once they get to that where they're having the auction at the mansion, it's like, oh, fuck you. Of course, it's the evil rich people. They want to buy the dinosaurs as their own little pets because they're so rich. They need this rare thing. Nobody would want to own a fucking dinosaur like that. Nobody would spend $30 million on a fucking dinosaur like that. Maybe some people would, but they have, a bunch of people show up. It's like, oh, come on. Really? It's like this Russian mobster guy. Yeah, he wants a pet raptor. He's like 30 million. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah, if they had bulletproof skin, then maybe. But they don't have bulletproof skin. This raptor gets killed, like, by getting stabbed. I mean, it's ridiculous. He gets impaled. Like, I don't understand this. So, yeah, most cliche movie ever. Of course, BD Wong has to show up. BD fucking Wong. They take a minor character from the first movie, who's there during the little raptor birthing sequence, and he's in Jurassic World, and then he's in this movie. Oh yeah, I was in the chat on a World Class Bullshitter stream. But so he shows up. It's like, oh, BD Wong, is this an episode of Law and Order? It's like, what is this where we're at now? You can get Jeff Goldblum for like one scene, and you get BD Wong. Am I supposed to be excited? Is BD Wong's that person where like your mom or your girlfriend's like, I love BD Wong because he's on Law and Order. I like BD Wong too, but like, this is a weird continuity thing. Oh, that guy that had a minor role in the first film. He's now the guy who's trying to make the raptor and all that. It's like, oh, okay, fine. I mean, I was laughing when BD Wong showed up. So, okay. So the evil rich guy kills James Cromwell. He suffocates him with the pillow because he's an evil young rich guy who wants to auction off the dinosaurs for money. And the little girl, she finds out that her grandpa was killed, and so she tries to escape. And there's this mystery about, oh, who was my mother and all that stuff. And she gets this photo. So she's running around hiding. And James Cromwell's completely wasted in this movie. BD Wong doesn't do anything. Jeff Goldblum doesn't do anything in this movie. I mean, it's really a waste. I would have loved to have seen Jeff Goldblum go to the island with them and be in the movie. I would have loved it. They could get him to be in Independence Day 2 for most of the movie, and you couldn't get him to be... Jeff Goldblum will do anything. How dare you not put Jeff Goldblum with Chris Pratt on that fucking island? How goddamn dare you? I don't appreciate it. Don't you tease me, Goldblum. I don't like it. Don't you tease me at all. You give me my Goldblum fix. I feel like this is a drug dealer. Like, hey, here's a sample of the cocaine. This one's free. But if you want some more, you're going to have to pay. That's what they did to me here. They're like, you want a little bit of Goldblum? But if you want some more, you're going to have to pay. Oh, fuck you. So, the big plot twist is that the little girl's a clone. Which, here's the thing. On paper, that could have been cool. They're cloning humans now. Like, they're not just cloning the dinosaurs. They can clone humans. That is something new. That is something new to the Jurassic Park franchise. They're not just repeating it. Like, they introduce it way too late in the movie, and they don't do anything with it. But it's kind of an interesting idea. I felt like Goldblum was teased in Thor Ragnarok. He's barely in that movie. So they're like, we're going to clone humans now. And I'm like, wait a minute. This changes everything. Now, I know we cloned the sheep and all that, but it's like, wait a minute. If they're cloning humans now, this is like a science fiction movie even on crack now, not just with it. Like what is this? This is implying some big shit. That they're going to clone human beings? No, I mean, it's crazy. It's like, why don't you make that the movie? Like, that you have human clones now. What, like, you could do a lot of cool stuff without. You could do some stuff with that, though. Like, there's something to Attack of the Clones. I was thinking, like, you know, but they don't do anything with it. They just throw it out there and that's it. It's completely pointless. Maybe they're trying to set something up for a third movie. So, yeah, the girl's a clone. So, there's this scene where they're doing the auction and they bring in the Super Raptor and they test it out. Well, then Chris Pratt, in full Indiana Jones mode, goes and gets a dinosaur and lets it loose, and it starts attacking the rich people. And you're supposed to be like, take that, evil people. Every time that a bad guy gets chased by a dinosaur, they get eaten and they get, like, tricked like Looney Tunes. Like, seriously, there's Looney Tune moments in this movie. And then every time the dinosaurs try to eat a good person or kill a good person, they're not good at catching anyone anymore. It's so stupid. There's Looney Tunes level stuff in here. So there's this bad guy that's been working for the guy the whole time, this military guy. I think it was Buffalo Bill. but he's throughout the whole movie, and he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he does this thing where he's been collecting dinosaur teeth. He's been ripping off dinosaur teeth and keeping them for his collection. So he goes back in after everybody gets taken out by this little dinosaur, and he shoots some tranquilizer darts at the evil raptor. This is one of the dumbest scenes in the movie. In fact, it is the dumbest scene in the movie. He opens up the cage with the fucking super raptor to go pull a tooth out. This evil guy that's been screwing with Chris Pratt and all of the characters, and he's basically that hunter guy except with less morality. He goes to pull a tooth out of this raptor. While he goes to do it, the raptor's tail's wiggling behind him, and and the guy looks back, and then the tail goes down and it closes its eyes. I mean, it's like a cartoon. It's like watching a cartoon. The raptor's fucking with him. The tail wiggles, and he's like, huh? I mean, it's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon or something, or like Roadrunner, or like Tweety and Sylvester. I mean, it's like, what is this? This is Bugs Bunny rules. So he pulls the tooth out after tranking this thing, and guess what happens? The raptor eats him. The raptor eats him because he's a dumbass and he goes in a cage with an evil. Who would do this? How dumb is this guy? He goes to collect the tooth, even though he knows this is a raptor because he shoots a couple. Like, really? He opens the cage up. This thing has been locked away. He knows this. Why would he care about this? It's barely established he rips the tooth out. He does it like once. So he goes in there and he gets eaten. I mean, it's so stupid. It's cringe. It's badly written. It's completely illogical. Nobody would do that. The character's not defined, and it's the dumbest scene in the movie. The guy going in the cage and getting eaten by the raptor is just fucking retarded. It went full retard. I mean, it really did. It's so stupid. So then the dinosaurs are gonna die. So the Get Down kid does the hacker scene from the first Jurassic Park, basically. So basically Blue shows up to save the day, and Chris Pratt and them are all getting chased by the evil super raptor, and he's with the little girl now, the clone girl, and Bland Dallas Howard. And they pretty much just redo the ending from Jurassic Park and the kitchen scene where they're getting chased by the raptors. It's the same scene. They're hiding and the raptors going around and all that. So Chris Pratt is fighting the raptor. The raptor's super smart. It just feels too derivative, unfortunately. Blue escapes. Blue's been hurt the whole movie because she got shot. Blue escapes. Blue shows up and starts fighting. But before that happens, there's another scene I like in this movie. The little girl runs upstairs to her bedroom and hides under her bed. Now, I don't know why she just went to go hide in her bed. How the fuck is that going to protect you? And the raptor is crawling on the roof of the house. Now, it's kind of silly. But anyway, the raptor's crawling on the roof. There's this pretty cool shot where the raptor opens the window with its claw and crawls in, and it's shadows by the doors. It's a horror movie scene. You can see how this guy did the orphanage. It feels like a scene that Guillermo del Toro would do. I like the camera work in this scene. I like when the girl's running down the hallway and getting chased by it. I like it opening the window. I like its silhouette. I like its shadow on the wall. It's a cool sequence, like visually. It's kind of stupid from a lot, but visually it's a nice sequence. It's about tension. The raptor taps its claw on the floor. It's slowly reaching to the girl's blanket. I don't know why it doesn't just eat her. I guess it's going to rape her or something. And it slowly reaches its claw to pull the blanket away. It's a cool scene. I like that scene. So Chris Pratt shows up. He starts shooting at the thing. Then, of course, out of ammo, because this is the most cliche movie ever. Then Blue shows up, his baby Blue, and starts fucking shit up. They have a raptor fight, which is what happened in the last movie. Blue showed up to save the day when they were getting attacked at the end of the movie. Because why not? Why not just do what happened in the previous film? So Chris Pratt and the girl start climbing on the roof. Now, I also like this sequence. They're like climbing on the house and they slide down the roof and all that stuff. That was fun. When they were sliding down and all that stuff, it was pretty cool. Did you know Crowder invited late? Yeah, I watched that interview. Rape tour. Okay. Okay, so they're sliding around on the roof of this house. And they're running, and then Bland Dallas Howard shows up. She's pointing the laser tracker gun thing, so the raptor will go after Chris Pratt. The glass is crumbling below them. And then Blue shows up again. And earlier in the movie, there's like the statue thing with like horns on it. It's a head of a dinosaur. They set it up early. Not bad geography for an action scene, right? And so they're setting up that the dinosaur is going to fall on the head of this dinosaur and kill it, which is basically what happens. So Blue jumps on top of it. It falls through. It gets impaled. And then Blue, like, roars. And Blue saves the day just like Blue. Well, except I guess last time it was that water dinosaur. But it's very similar. So they have this moment where they have to decide to kill the dinosaurs off or not. And Chris Pratt's telling Bland Dallas Howard, like, no, we have to let him die. If you let them loose, they're going to go out into the real world. We can't do this. So she decides to kill them. And I'm like, man, this is a good ending. This is a really good ending. Like, this is the first time in the movie someone's decided, like, we have to kill the dinosaurs. We can't let them live. They can't fit in with society. And I was like, man, I didn't know it was building up to this. Good idea. So I was like, you know what? I didn't like this movie, but at least they had the balls to do something like this, that these two people who don't want to kill these dinosaurs have to, for the betterment of society. But wait, the little clone girl clicks the button and she has a Rose Tico moment where she goes, they live just like me. So she lets the dinosaurs loose into society, the little clone girl, because she's a clone. Because apparently her being a human being, a clone of a human being, this guy's daughter, is the same thing as dinosaurs. She thinks that's similar. That's not a false equivalency. I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing. So she lets the freaking dinosaurs out. So the dinosaurs stampede and they run out and they kill the evil bad guys. He's trying to hide under the car. And the T-Rex eats him like he ate the lawyer in the first movie. It's all shit you've seen before. The T-Rex even knows to step on the thing to make sure that the guy can't go clone the raptor or whatever. Of course. Of course it happens. Because it's the most cliche movie ever. Because clones have no soul. So, anyway, instead of doing a cool ending where they kill the dinosaurs, which would have been new, they just let the dinosaurs out into society. And guess what happens? You remember at the end of the first movie where Blue shows up and Chris Pratt's like, come on, Blue, and then Blue runs off into the jungle to go be off? The same fucking scene happens again in this movie. They do the same scene. Blue comes up, Chris Pratt's like, come with me, Blue, we can protect you, and Blue runs off. It's the same scene as the last movie. It's like, did you think we forgot about the last film? That's the ending of the previous movie, that Blue runs off and doesn't hang out with him. Why wouldn't you have Blue stay with him this time? You did the same ending twice. Is this going to be a running gag throughout the Jurassic World series that Blue just runs away from him? I mean, Blue is the biggest cock tease ever. She keeps just teasing like, hey, I don't care if you were there when I was growing up and stuff like that. I don't need you anymore. I'm going to go do my own thing. I got my eyes on that T-Rex. Like, what the fuck, Blue? What are you going to go do? So Blue doesn't want to hang out with her bro. She just wants to come save him and then leave. She's like, I don't know what I mean, it's the same ending scene. I get you ripping off the original Jurassic Park, fine. You're ripping off Jurassic World now? That's where we've gotten? Where you're ripping off your previous film? Really? Really? Okay. So, at the end of the movie, dinosaurs are loose. It's Jurassic World. This feels like how the first movie should have ended, or what the first movie should have been. This is a premise in itself. Dinosaurs are now in civilization. It's the T-Rex scene from the end of The Lost World, except everywhere. They show a T-Rex roar and a lion roar. The lions roar. They show it roar, and like raptors are running through the jungle, through the woods. They're like in fucking neighborhood, suburbia. Pterodactyls are flying. It's like, oh my god. Remember Jurassic Park 3 had that where the pterodactyls left? We never got a follow-up on that. So I was like, oh, this is what you've been teasing for several movies now, dinosaurs in the real world. This should have been the movie. Like, I would love to see a T-Rex fly through. We haven't seen that before. I'd love to see a T-Rex fuck up the city again. I'd love to see pterodactyls fly in and kill people around the world. I'd love to see suburbia get attacked by raptors. Like, do the Predator 2 thing. Like, yeah, dinosaurs in the city. We're back a dinosaur story. I thought that's where things are going. Now, it's a ridiculous ending. They're trying to make it like this big sci-fi thing where, like, now the dinosaurs are loose. And Jeff Goldblum, it cuts back to him at the end. And he's talking to Congress, I guess, and he's all like, we've changed the world. These dinosaurs were here before us, and they might be here after us. And this is going to change our life. We're going to have to learn to live with these new creatures in our world. So he's basically just saying we have to accept the dinosaurs live. Now, wouldn't we just go kill them? Wouldn't some hunters go just blow these fuckers away? Are you seriously trying to tell me that we have to coexist with T-Rexes? And we have to live in a world with raptors and pterodactyls? I'm sorry. No. That's goddamn ridiculous. So, anyway, Chris Pratt and them are driving off. You know, it's both a cool ending and a dumb ending. It's really dumb in so many ways, but it's also kind of cool in, like, this science fiction premise way. Like the end of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where Caesar says Caesar is home, and Caesar goes off with the apes and basically says, fuck society, I built my own society. The ending of the movie, the dinosaurs going off to be part of the world, there is something kind of cool about that. Like, oh, wow, this changes things. And Jeff Goldblum, the last line, now he says it, he goes, welcome to Jurassic World. It's like, oh my god, really? That's the last line of the movie? But at least it's an ending that's not just like, hey, it might be a bit of an open border subtext. That's a good question. But it's not just an ending of like, hey, you know, the same ending of Jurassic Park, you know, where the dinosaurs are left out. It is something new. They've let the dinosaurs now be in civilization, and the third movie could be dinosaurs in the real world. And there's consequences for these actions, and these characters have to accept these consequences. They've decided to let the dinosaurs live, and by doing so, they've put people in danger. I think that's morally fucked up, because these things aren't... They get... Like, the little girl being cloned, human beings are still alive. Okay, nature decided to kill the dinosaurs. Okay, millions of years ago. They don't have a right to exist. That's my argument there. Dinosaurs don't ever... If you want to clone a human, fine. Cloning a dinosaur is a completely different thing. Like, let the past be in the past. Kill the past. So, I don't know, maybe the third film could be cool because it's dinosaurs going around killing people in neighborhoods and attacking the city. That could be a cool movie. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's the future. Maybe that's what they were saying. But it's the first time it ever feels like Jurassic World. Like, it's not a theme park and all that. It's actually Jurassic World. Like, the world has dinosaurs in it now. Shouldn't it have been the first movie instead of a remake of Jurassic Park? Dinosaurs would be an ecological disaster. We shouldn't accept them. I agree. I don't disagree. It doesn't make any sense, but, you know, it's a movie, so whatever. Maybe you can give it a pass because they're trying to do something different. They don't want to just have somebody repeat the same storylines, but it just feels too little too late. This should have been something they did in, like, the third movie or at the end of the second one. It's way too late in the franchise to do something new with the dinosaurs. They don't follow up on the moral things they set up, like, are we going to kill the dinosaurs? Are we to blame for the situation we're in? The film's oddly edited. It's oddly paced. The acting's mediocre. It's not terrible. The dialogue's nonsense. There's some nice camera work and set pieces here and there. And the movie's, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like the worst thing I've seen in the last few years. It's not insulting like The Last Jedi was. It's just a big, dumb, bland movie that's trying to be a fun B-movie monster picture. And it just kind of falls apart because of the script. The director's really not bad. They just force him to do Spielberg-y stuff too much and not let him come through. And the script's horrible. This could have been a good movie with a better script. They actually have a lot of good pieces here. They have a lot of good actors. They have some fun ideas, the stuff at this mansion. the island blowing up. That could be fun. That could be a fun action movie, a blockbuster. The problem is the story by Colin Trevorrow and his co-writer is horrible. And it's not well put together, and it's too many ideas crammed together instead of focusing on one or two ideas that could have made the movie. The film lacks coherence because of it. It never sticks with one idea. And that unfortunately makes it a mess. And it's messier than a lot of the other Jurassic Park films. And it falls apart because of it. Even though for a while, maybe the first 30 minutes or so, it felt like, to me, this was going to be the most fun Jurassic Park movie in a while. But they couldn't pull it off. They couldn't stick the landing because the script just lets them down ultimately, like most movies. They couldn't keep it simple. Simplicity would have went a long way here. Doing a lot less. Not having the cartoonish villains. Not having the obvious plot twist. Not having so many things that were taken from the other films, including the previous film. They should have really explored the clone girl. They should have explored the moral questions about, is it John Hammond's fault and all these people's faults? And they should have killed the dinosaurs at the end of the movie and actually committed to that. And Claire and Owen realizing that it was their fault and they have to kill this thing that they helped build. That would have been an interesting movie. But they didn't want to do that. And because of that, we get another mediocre, disappointing Jurassic Park movie. And even though it's going to make $1 billion, and general audiences are probably going to enjoy this movie in a very passable way. Hey, Pat, who's that nemesis of yours I've noticed in Twitter? I don't know what you're talking about. You mean that guy's always leaving comments? I don't know. I got a lot of people who hate me. I want to like the Jurassic Park sequels. I want to like the dinosaurs. I want to like the stuff that's happening. Where have all the good writers gone? I wanted to enjoy this movie. I tried. It's not like I was bored, but you know, it's just kind of shitty, and it's unfortunate because I had a lot of hope with this director, and I would recommend his other films. I don't think this means this guy's a hack or his career's over. He's made good films. So I'd like to see his movies after this if he doesn't make Jurassic Park sequels. Although, I could see why he'd want to make the next one just because this is going to make a lot of money. I guess my arbitrary rating for Jurassic World Fallen franchise. How the Mighty Have Fallen. I guess I'll give this a 5 out of 10. Maybe it's a 6 out of 10. 5.5. I'll give this a 5.5 out of 10. Just because of the underwater sequence, some of the ideas, some of that stuff I enjoyed. So I'll give it's like a 5. I mean, that's really what it is. It's a very in middle of the road movie. Maybe if you watch it on television, kids will probably like it. I'm sure my nephew would like the movie. Maybe I should have taken him to see it and I could have saw him be happy. And it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me. It never met any standards that I had hoped, and it didn't even even my lowest expectations, it really couldn't surpass. It was everything I thought it was and thought it would be, and in some ways it was worse. But I was so disappointed and so mad at the end of the first Jurassic World. This one I just felt indifferent. I don't hate this movie. I'm not mad that it exists. It's not like The Last Jedi where it pisses me off. It's a lot of lost potential, and that's what kind of sucks about it. It could have been something interesting, where Jurassic World was just devoid of anything except for the theme park idea being kind of fun. This film, on the other hand, it actually had some conceptual stuff that I liked from a science fiction point of view. And Chris Pratt is really good. He doesn't have a character. Owen's not a character, but Chris Pratt is good in this role. He is giving it his all. He is charming. It's just it's a sum of its parts movie, and those parts that work, there's just not enough of them. It's like 30% of it a halfway decent movie, and 70% of just a really forgettable. And some of it's just bad, like the cage scene. That's just bad. Yeah, I find it a bit too high, but it's arbitrary after all. Exactly, the ratings are arbitrary. It's just, it sounds like it's a horrible movie how I'm explaining it, But when you're watching it, it kind of has this B-movie thing to it that you kind of just let a lot of this stuff slide. There's kind of a tone to this movie that gives it a little bit of a pass. Colin Trevorrow's fault is he wrote the script. And the script's the biggest issue with this movie. You know, once again, good director, good cast. Bad story. That's really the issue here. Bad story. I guess that's it. Jurassic World Fallen franchise. Yeah, I guess Spielberg could have hired better talent. That's a good point. I guess we can blame Spielberg for that. If anyone out there likes the movie, that's cool. I don't recommend seeing it. I would say watch this at home. It doesn't even work as schlock, as Mike will probably call it. This is not schlock. It never is bad enough to be total schlock. I wish it could be. But oh yeah, if I was actually objective with my rating for myself, I would give most movies like below, like a lot of movies I've given an 8, I would give a 6. A lot of movies I give 5s, I'd give a 2. A lot of movies I've given 9s and stuff like that, I would give a 1. I mean, I actually like movies a lot less than what I say. I'm just trying not to sound like a jaded person. I really don't enjoy most movies I watch anymore. But I'm trying to be fair that I know not everyone feels that way. And not everyone has seen as many movies as I have. So I understand that maybe that's part of it too. That maybe I've just seen too many movies. And I'm kind of burned out. I don't know why anyone rides on Jurassic Park as a franchise film. I mean, it's a fun movie, but I don't see having a major emotional investment in it. I don't really get it as a franchise thing. I love the first Jurassic Park, and I get very emotional, but I don't. Well, you know, my honest opinion's the review. The score doesn't matter. That's why it's arbitrary. The number I give at the end doesn't matter. You know, what I say over the hour and a half, that's why I like doing these live stream reviews, because back when I had to do these videos, when I had to do a review in 10, 15 minutes, I would have to abbreviate a lot of things I wanted to say, and I couldn't go through a movie and be more fair to it. When I do these live stream reviews, like I did Incredibles 2 and all that stuff in Last Jedi, I'm able to really go through everything, and you can get a full scope of what I felt about the movie, the good and the bad, instead of just hearing me have to be like, I do kind of miss doing the short reviews because I could kind of be more eloquent and summarize things and be better with my word choices and write some things out and be like, you know, find little concise ways to explain things I felt about cinematography and all that. I don't get to do that in these reviews, but I feel like you get a better idea of my opinion, which is what I like, that you guys can get my opinion. And ultimately, you're not just watching a video waiting for the rating. You get to go on this journey with me, and that's what I really like doing the live stream reviews. I find it to be the most honest way to talk about these things, for me. Well, when you've seen many flicks and as frequently as you, it's hard to be surprised. Yes, it is. That's why I think kids would like this movie, because they probably wouldn't pick up on a lot of those things. Will there be a time when you won't feel burnout from watching so many films? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm scared of that question. I don't know what's happening to Hollywood and where the future cinema is. I think television and video games and all that are kind of taking over. I don't know. I still like music. You know, I still like a lot of things. I'm not jaded about making movies and telling stories, but I am jaded as a film viewer. Every time I see something like Good Time or 3 Billboards, it kind of brings me back, but there's not much of it. See, what really killed the video game market is we don't get the middle film anymore. I mean, the middle game. It used to be, it's either indie titles now or AAA games. So when I was a kid and I played the PS2 era and all that, there was a lot of middle-of-the-road games that weren't AAA titles or indie darlings. They were just a fun game you could play on the weekend with your friends or play for a few weeks and have a great time. It wasn't a game with a big budget. It also wasn't a little indie game that was trying to be artsy. It was just a fun, passable game that you could play co-op with your friends. And for most of my life, this is in movies, too. You used to there was indie films, there was the big blockbuster films a few times a year, and then there was always kind of a generic, passable movie, like something like Notting Hill. That's an enjoyable, passable movie, and even when I was in the early 2000s, it was that way. You know, not every movie was great, but sometimes it wasn't a waste of time to go to the theater. You at least felt like you got something for your ticket price. Movies had structure. Even if they were cliche, they hit certain beats, and there was different movies. There was adult dramas, there was romantic comedies, There was R-rated sex films. There was thrillers. There was courtroom dramas. There was kids films. There was animated films. There was the big blockbuster special effects films. There was the horror movies. Now I feel like there's not many genres anymore. And there's so many blockbusters all year that we don't get to build up any hype anymore. I mean, there was already blockbusters this year coming out in February. And we don't, every movie's so big now, or it's a low-budget horror film or an indie film. There's never like the $20 million movie anymore that you can just go watch if you like a certain genre of movie, like if you want to go see a romantic comedy or something. It's either low-budget indie flicks like Good Time or a Get Out, or it's a big blockbuster like this, or Deadpool, or Ready Player One or something. I miss just very, okay movies. I miss like the 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 movie. Everything's so meshed together now, there's no middle market. For directors who aren't great, but they're not bad either, they're competent enough to make a decent enough movie. And that used to make you more hyped for the big budget special effects movies, so when you saw them, it was more exciting because you got to build up to them. I remember, even in like 2007 and stuff, there was only a few every summer, you'd get excited to see the trailers and stuff. Now, I mean, it's all year round, there's big CGI superhero special effects movies. You don't get time to wait anymore. And you can't just go to the movie theater on a weekend to see something that's just like a film in another genre that's not a big blockbuster. They don't make Julia Roberts movies anymore. They don't make, Steve Martin kind of films anymore. They don't make, they just, even when I was a kid in the 90s, I just remember there were so many movies that they weren't like great, but they were watchable. They were fun. They were fun movies. Everything feels so overproduced now. And they don't even follow basic structure or storytelling or beats that you should hit to make an okay movie anymore. It's just everything's so sloppy. You never feel like you're watching a complete movie much anymore. You not feel like you're getting a total story, even if it's not original. You feel like you're getting a bunch of things slapped together. It's being rewritten 100 times, and you feel like you're not getting an experience anymore. You're just, and I think people crave those kinds of movies. I don't know. I miss that stuff. I miss it in video games. I miss it in movies. I miss it. I mean, there's just not... there's not the middle of the road stuff anymore. It's either go big or go home, or the indie film that's trying to be too big for its britches. You can no longer get... The Hollywood movie's kind of dead. Like a Tootsie. Like, the Hollywood movie's just kind of dead, and nobody's getting to sell a movie anymore just on a premise most of the time. It's on a genre. And I think me and David Stewart are going to talk about that. Anyway, I'm losing my voice. So look out for me on World Class Bullshitters. I don't know what I'll be on, but follow me on Twitter at Vameon, Vameon, if you want updates on that. I ask anyone to follow me on Twitter. Thank you for going through this journey with me through Jurassic World. And you guys are great, and I will be doing Box Office Addict this Sunday, talking about the opening weekend of this movie, which looks like it's going to be quite high. So thank you to all the new subscribers. I've added 500 subscribers this month. Thank you to all the old fans that have been loyal and stayed with me all this time. And I just appreciate you guys so much. And I'm sorry this ended on kind of a downer note. Maybe it could have been a little happier. But you guys keep me going, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry that the stream cut out a few times. I don't know what's going on with OBS. Hopefully that doesn't happen this Sunday. But I got some collaborations. I'll get back to making some videos again. I'm sorry I don't do the short reviews anymore, and I'm sorry that I don't make some more essay videos. I want to do more stuff. It's just I'm in the process of moving still. So it's tough for me to do all that. But I will get on that, I promise. I'm not going anywhere. There's more content to come. You just got to stick it out with me, and I'll keep reviewing these movies for you guys, because I'm trying to give some... I know I don't make a lot of videos anymore. I used to make a few videos a week. I know comedy stories. So I try to do these live streams for you guys so we can catch up and I can answer questions and we can talk about new things coming out. And that's really all I have to say. So please rewind your VHS tapes before you bring them back to the store, especially your original VHS copy of Jurassic Park, which I wore that tape out a lot. Almost as much as I wore out my copy of Deep Throat. And Debbie Does Dallas. Those are classics, by the way. I'll give you guys some music on the outro. I wanted this to be like a 90-minute stream. I kind of wanted it to be like The Incredibles, where it was like 80 minutes, 90 minutes. I didn't expect it to be 2 hours because I forgot so much about the movie. Well, happy birthday, Crazy. Early happy birthday. I a little bit more than I wanted, but F it, you know what? I'll just end it. I don't even need to play outro music. I gave you guys intro music. Let's just end this. All right. See you guys.